And I'm going to do a dry run as well on to kill time, since we've got some time. So this is not going to be the seed that we're going to play. I'm just going to go through the Apogee and explain in detail some of what we're going to be doing. This will be a great way for the players who are not yet familiar really familiar with the game to get a better idea of what you need to explore. I'm going to be playing Iron Mode, but I don't recommend everyone to do that. It's fun. It's the way the game is supposed to be played, but at the same time, it's not exactly super important for everyone to be doing that. The only thing that's going to affect the universe generation is the seed. If you play on easy mode, or if you play on without iron mode, that's not going to affect the seed. We're going to be doing a normal size instead of a small size. I normally play small size, but since we're going to be doing this as a group, I figure the larger map will be fine. And I'm going to say I kind of want to leave it on mixed, but I kind of want to do a young one as well. I think we'll just do mixed. So we'll do normal and mixed. This way it's the basic stuff that most people will experience on a typical run. And we'll be doing that together. Need a name. It's not going to stay that way. And then I'll be doing the Apogee start. And I'll be doing normal without the tutorial. I would suggest everyone skip the tutorial, but it's not going to be necessary. Again, this is just an example of what we're going to be doing at the start. I'm not going to keep this seed. This is not the seed that we're going to be playing. As far as skills go, there's a lot of choices to grab here. Navigation can be incredibly useful. It'll actually mean that we don't necessarily need to go get the the device for the Apogee, the augmented drive field. Hopefully the trading that we're going to be doing is going to give us 2 extra levels that we can use for sensors and bulk transport. But another thing to do is to get bulk transport right away, and then with the trading that we do and the levels we get, grabbing salvaging and containment procedures, because that'll let you stay out. Those 3 skills together will really let you stay out in deep space a long time. But I want navigation because I want to be able to dive in and dive out at my desired locations. Like I'm not going to be scared to go into a high beacon or a medium beacon if I have navigation. But if I don't have navigation, that's a lot more dangerous. So I'm going to get navigation. And we'll go ahead and start. And again, this is just a dry run. This is not the seed that we're going to be playing together. Okay, so, thank you, whoever did that. I appreciate that. Oh, that's nice. It's Time Zone Bot. I appreciate Time Zone Bot. Okay, so the Apogee start gives us some great stuff right at the beginning. We get a Condor, which is going to be great support for our fleet. We get an extra fuel tank, which should be all... Actually, it's not a lot, but... So we're probably going to upgrade that. Don't necessarily need fuel, though, because if you're careful with your fuel use and you get containment, especially once we get containment procedures, you don't really need a fuel can, but it's good to bring one with you just to be extra safe. The Shepherd is great because of its civilian survey equipment and salvage gantry. We're actually going to pick up more of them. I'm not going to get a salvaging rig because the amount of drone tenders that I'm going to want is going to make the salvaging rig only marginally effective. The drone tenders are going to cover that a lot. the Wayfarer is nice because it has extra cargo space as well, and the Apogee is nice and flush with cargo space in general. It also has surveying equipment as well, so it's providing 25 or 20 supplies itself for surveying. And then we're going to pick up, I would like to say at least 5 more drone tenders, maybe even more, depending on how on what we find. I don't want to spend too much time flying around though. I want to get into the things quickly. We're not going to spend any of our money here because I want all the money for the first few trades we're going to make. What we're going to do is take ourselves to Galatia to get some extra ships, and we have thankfully enough crew. I will go here real quick to, actually we should be fine on gas as well, so I'm just going to jump out. It's the best start on navigation is you can just jump immediately. The pirate fleets probably won't mess with you, considering how big your ship is and big your fleet is. But just for extra safety, if you don't take navigation, drop in on Pontus, because the pirates may be guarding the gate points. But if you drop in on Pontus, you should be safe, and then you're going to make your way all the way south down to this planet where the derelict field normally spawns. And by normally, I mean always spawns. It's always here. Whenever you start a new file, this derelict field, just from the tutorial, is always here, and it's always the same. Because it's always the same, I already know exactly what I can get. I can get the hammerhead. I can get one of the kites. Is it this one? Yes, I will take the kite. This is on Galatia. It's the same. This is the Galatia is the area where you do the tutorial. It's in the southeast. It's between Corvus, Samara, Aslan, and Arcadia. It's all by itself. The thing to remember here is that the mining colony revolt is still happening, so there are pirates in the system. However, with the Apogee start, you're very scary. You are a big fleet. Apogee is a cruiser. You also have a Condor for support, and now, right away, you get the Hammerhead. So get that kite, get this wolf. It is also available. We're going to then also get, Buffalo Lasher, Tarsus, the Dram. Yes, the Dram. Now, another thing to consider is you could, if you're doing, you could harvest these to get some extra supplies. You could harvest, like at the start of the game, which is nice. You could also save them, because one of the things you can do is you can run over here and start fighting pirates now that you have a hammerhead. I mean, you're going to want to go equip it first, so you've got to go to Ansira to equip your hammerhead. But once you've got it equipped, you can go fight some pirates, earn some money, maybe even take some of their ships. And then you could return here when you have some story points and pick up the Condor if you want it. But what we're going to do is going to be so quick. No, this is for every start. It's always here. We didn't do the tutorial. This just happens to be the tutorial area, but the stuff that plays out in the tutorial happens every time, whether or not you do the tutorial. So the Pirate Revolt, oops, I forgot to turn on my transponder. Doesn't matter. Leave me alone. One of the other things we're going to do is we're going to get the commission from the hegemony, because it's available. The reason being, but we're not going to get that right now, because we don't want to come across any. If we do it now, we're going to become enemies of Tritachyon and the Perseian League. So that's going to be the last thing we do on our way out into deep space. Again, this is just a dry run of the beginning. I haven't released the seed yet. Insulated engines is a good one. We're going to grab that because that will help us stealth our ships a little bit. We're going to grab some more gas just to make sure we make it to where we're going. And we're not even going to bother equipping these yet. I'm just going to jump straight into space because I want to use as much of my money as possible to buy heavy weapons. So we're going to come over to Aslan. I'm going to look and see where Chico is to drop right in on it, but you can just drop in on the warp point, fly over to Chico, But Chico is the place I tend to visit first because it's really close. Hey, we could get that if we had the money. And right on the black market, you can get almost the entire surplus of heavy weapons. Okay, we can get some of the surplus of heavy weapons. If you do some pirate raiding, like fighting the pirates, you could potentially get all of it. But we're not too concerned with getting all of it. This is going to be more than enough. And since we have a strong setup with our fleet, we can go deal with the Garner pirates, and we don't have to worry about getting attacked. Because our fleet is kind of on the strong side, having the Apogee cruiser as well as the Hammerhead destroyer. Our fleet looks intimidating, and so the pirates aren't going to mess with us. We can slide right in, sell them these weapons, and make our first easy 100,000. I'm also going to buy some gas while I'm here. And I'm actually going to sell them maybe some of the supply. Nah, we don't need to sell them our supplies. While I'm here, I'm going to check out the weapons real quick. It doesn't look like there's any must-haves here, but I always tend to just, scope things out. We do want to make sure our hammerhead gets equipped, though. So I think what I'll do for him is just wait until I can get another... I'll put this heavy mauler on him, though. And I like to use the Annihilator pads so he gets a lot more missiles. But you can just outfit him normally. The problem is that he doesn't have the other railgun, so I'm going to wait until I can find the other railgun to get him set up right. This guy, I got to keep an eye out for... we'll put some point defense on him. Keep an eye out for a medium energy weapon. I'm looking for a mining blaster because they're easy to find and they're cheap. This guy, we don't need to worry about his weaponry. I'm just going to put auxiliary fuel tanks, and I'm going to insulate his engine assembly. This will help him stop giving us our position away so easily. We want to do that with the other one as well. He doesn't need vents because he's not getting into combat. We want to insulate his engine, give him auxiliary fuel tanks, and that's fine. For the drone tender, we can bring them into combat. They're not likely to die in combat because they tend to escape, do a really good job of keeping away, especially when you give them an unstable injector. Then we're going to insulate the engine assembly and expand the cargo holds, so he'll be able to carry more stuff for us. But again, he's not going to get into combat, so we're not too worried about that. So actually, that's why we're going to take his salamander from him. After we're going to take the swarm rack from this guy, same reason. But if we did get into combat, or we needed some extra help, he would be a good help. He'd be the guy we would want to call in before, bringing our gas cans in. We don't want to bring the gas cans in if we can help it. So we still need a mining blaster. We need another railgun. As for this guy, I'm going to do swarm rack, salamander, and actually, I don't really like this kite because it's not a military vessel, it's a civilian vessel. So heck that. Alright, so let's go get some more. Now, unfortunately, actually, hold on. On this file, it didn't look like there was a lot of good options for military, or for weapons, like to sell them. But even if we can only make a small amount of profit, that's all we need to make. Okay, so I want to get some double XP as well. So we need to make someone get angry at us for not running our transponder. So let's actually drop in over at the waypoint here with our transponder off. Now that we have a story point specifically. Sensor burst, get this guy's attention. How you doing? And then we talk our way out of it. This is going to give us bonus XP so that when we sell our heavy weapons, we get a little bit of extra XP for that, and we can hopefully get a level. 1 second, my guest is here. He'll be joining us. It'll be great. I'll be right back. I want to set it up, but I don't know. That's space. I have a tray for you. There's an outlet right there, the dresser. Oh, you don't have a laptop. I thought you went home and got it. Okay. Well, the projector's not set up either. So, here, I'll turn the screen so you can see at least. Oh, well.
It's also Smash Monday, so talk about I realized this.
Yeah, I figured that's what you were looking to do over there. Was to get in some smashing. Here, let me push this around a little bit real quick. So at least now you can see. Oh. So yeah, the captain who we normally do co-op stuff with is here today as well, just to hang out. Pop that back open. Tilt this a bit. How's that? Cool. But yeah, say what? You mean 3 planets? Yeah, I mean, I think they're circling this one specifically. Yeah, they're nice and tight there. This guy wants to bother us. But, where am I going? Pirates, right. Zoom, zoom, zoom. I got distracted. Okay, pirates. Gonna grab their 2 extra weapons. Yeah, it looks like we can still make some money on them. Not a lot. This isn't the best deal to go for. But we'll still double our money, which is good. And then we can maybe go do a drug deal. Yeah, because the Garner pirates also want drugs. And they want a lot of them. So let's just jump really quick. Go sell these. Actually, we should have got some supplies as well. Because these guys are going to definitely want supplies as well. Go here to Chalcedon and Kamai Condom. Sell these weapons. Yeah, we could have grabbed some supplies to sell them, but no big deal. And we're going to go ahead and pick up all the crew we can here, because we're going to need extra crew. Mostly because we are going to be buying some extra ships once we get to a place where we can get, once we get a good stash of money. So we don't want to hit our stash yet, so that's why I'm not even looking for ships. And again, this is just a dry run. I'll be generating a fresh seed on the hour. So we're going to go to Hybrosel, drop right in on the gas giant here, turn our transponder back on. Now we have 2 story points. And actually, since we have an extra story point, again, I want them to angry at me, so I'm going to go find them. Where are they at? Where's the trolls at? Yeah. Get them angry, good and grumpy with me. Yeah, come talk to me. Talk our way out of it. Get some bonus XP again. Like, I'm pretty much going to run without the transponder now, just so that they can, so that this, if we do any black market trading, it doesn't affect our standing. And as long as I have a story point, I can use it to get double XP, which will help us level up really quickly. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to buy the augmented drive field. It's one of the things I was looking for. But I'm not going to spend any other money right now. I just really want to make sure I get that. And we're going to grab these. And all of these that we can fit. We need some gas anyway, so that's fine. I almost gassed out. But we can sell off our heavy machines real quick to make sure we have enough money for gas. Because they don't have too much. Yeah. And we'll need to buy more heavy machines later, but that's not such a big deal. I just wanted to make sure I had enough. So we'll take as much as we can. And go to the Garner Pirates down in Corvus. And that should give us the rest of the money that we'll need to get started. And really, if you do things, it would be a little bit harder to just go straight out with the Apogee. But doing these quick trades, which generally those 3 trades should be very similar. You grab weapons, you take them to the Garner Pirates, then you grab more weapons from the Star Works to take to the Ludic Path in Chalcedon, and then you grab the drugs from Hybrossel now that you have the money to buy a large amount, and you take them here, and now we have 400,000 after 3 quick trades. I mean, it was, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades, but 6 stops. But yeah, we cashed out, and now we've got 400,000 to work with, which is more than enough. Now I'm just looking for drone tenders. I'm not really looking to buy too much else because I want... Oh, that was my fleet. Yeah, I'm not going to buy drone tenders in the Pirates. They're going to be in terrible shape. Actually, this one's not in bad shape, so let's grab him. And we're going to want to get some light machine guns to put on them. But otherwise, I'm not buying any other weapons or any other ships, really, because I'm happy with what we've got already. It's a pretty good fleet. It's nice shape. I'm not going to buy anything else that we don't need. They still have a deficit of supplies, so we'll have to go to the independent place to buy supplies. Look at that, we got 2 levels up. So now we can get, I'm going to grab sensors and bulk transport, but it would be, like, I think it's just as easy to get, or just as good to get bulk transport, salvaging, and then containment procedures, or get bulk transport and salvaging here. But I like to have the sensors because it gives me a larger detection range as well as a smaller, like, it balances the sensors into my favor, and it makes exploring larger areas easier. We're not doing any more trading, so I don't need any more bonus XP, but if I get it, I get it. I don't want that, I just want... Okay, so I'm going to grab this phase ship. We want to grab a couple of phase ships to go with us as well, because they're going to help mask our sensor profile. And I'm just grabbing drone tenders. I'm not grabbing any other combat ships, just the Gremlin, because he's a phase ship as well. I just want 5 phase ships, and I want to get a handful of drone tenders. So let's go out of here, though. Oh, wait. I needed to get gas. That's why I came here. Gas and supplies. I'll buy all their gas. All their duty-free supplies, because I don't want to have to pay tariffs. We're going to grab all their gas, because it's hard to get a lot of gas sometimes. But we only have 2 more stops. We're going to stop by Chico to buy ships, supplies, and then we're going to stop by Naraka in Nachiketa to buy fuel. Nachiketa is the Hegemony's gas station, which is annoying that it's out of the way, but it is very much worth the trip on the way out of the system, especially if you're exploring this side of the system, which is where I'll end up starting. And I went to the wrong spot. I can just turn on my transponder now since I'm not trying to get stopped anymore. Yeah, I don't want to bother bringing too many extra weapons. We just want... Yeah, so we're not going to buy gas here. We're going to buy all their duty-free supplies. Actually, that's too many. Just get 400. Which is probably too many as well. But we're mostly here for ships. Yeah, they got a nice onslaught here, but I'm not even looking at it. Okay, cool. So here's the rest of our phase ships, which is a big chunk of our money, but it's going to be worth it. I'm going to get that nice one with the sick paint job over here. And They don't have a lot of drone tenders available, unfortunately. That's annoying. So we'll go check the base next door. I have guns. Do you have another railgun for me? You don't have a railgun here, but they might at the military base. They do have a mining laser, so we'll grab that for him. And these guys are going to need weapons too. Let's outfit them now that we've got them. Put these guys up here. I'm going to just try to... I would like to get salamanders on them, if we can. I only have one myself. So let's go to the military compound, since they don't really have too many crazy weapons here available. And most of what they have here, they'll have at the military place. But let's go ahead and put these light assault guns, one each, on the gremlins. And then on their alternate side, I'm going to see if we can get them a larger machine gun, but the light machine gun will be fine. And they'll definitely have more light machine guns next door. They'll also have most of these other weapons next door. We're good for crew. We're good on supplies. We really just need extra stuff. And let's go ahead and get our commission. Oops. We talk to the station commander. I'd like to become commissioned. Accept the commission. Now you'll notice we became hostile with Tartakion and Perseian League. That's why we didn't do this earlier. But now we have access to the military surplus at Quaddle. So we'll go to Quaddle. We're not worried about losing a little bit of rep. It's no big deal. Yeah. Well, plus we're not like serious about this commission. We'll probably resign it as soon as it's no longer convenient for us. Nice. They do have the railgun here, so we can put the railgun on the hammerhead. They do not have salamanders, unfortunately. But we have one more stop before we give up on that. On these guys, though, they have Reapers, but not too many Reapers. I'm going to put hammerheads on... Actually, I'm going to put Annihilator rocket pods on these guys, and then I'm going to... Oh, he already has Annihilator rocket pods. Did he come with those, or did I put those on? Oh, yeah, I just put them on. Wrong ship. I'm going to put Reapers on the red one, because they have them. And they have the light dual machine guns, which I'm going to put on all of them as well. That'll help them punch shields, as well as defend themselves from missiles and fighters. They don't have any great energy weapons for this guy, so we're going to check the next two places before we give up on that. And everyone else is well outfitted so far. So let's make sure, see if we can grab any other drone tenders. Again, this is just a dry run. We'll be starting shortly. Grab those extra drone tenders. Here are our ships. And we're going to go ahead to Nachiketa. And we're actually going to stop into Yama first. We're just going to make sure we save like 20,000 for gas. Well, it should be fine. Yama is another military compound, so they're going to have, nice, they have the survey equipment and the efficiency overhaul, which are both ones that I really enjoy, but I'm not going to get them now because they're not that important. Unfortunately, they didn't have any antimatter blasters, which I was really hoping to find. It's a little bit excited, or a little bit of a, what you call it, that thing, where you're hoping for too much. Anyway, in fact, I don't have great weapons at all here, unfortunately. But if the shepherds end up with nothing on them, they're still going to be useful. Not the shepherds, the shades. They're still going to be useful. Their EMP emitter is one of the reasons why they're so good. No other drone tenders, so we're just going to leave here and head over next door. Actually, one of the things that we might want to do, yeah, maybe we get an officer. Steady, damage control, combat endurance, you're hired. Because we have that hammerhead, and if we put an officer in it, it'll perform a little bit better. And actually, I'm going to switch with the officer. I'm going to fly the hammerhead. I'm going to have her fly the Apogee. Which we could use, speaking of which, I forgot we had the Apogee. That high-intensity laser will help us out. Yes, we are. Shepherds, Cat Cook. Cat Cook, are you going to join us? Are you going to play the game? Because we're going to be all playing on the same seat here shortly. We even have the captain here who can, direct us in our lovely exploration. Okay. So, we ended up with 6 drone tenders, which isn't as many as I would like, but it's more than enough for what we're going to do. You have plenty of light machine guns as well, so what we're going to do is stamp a blueprint across all of the shepherds. We want the light machine gun, the unstable injector, the insulated engine assembly, and actually we already set this guy up over here. So because we have this guy already set up, we're going to switch his gun out to the gun that we have bought for everyone. And then we go to auto fit, we click one of the empty spots, and then we click the current variant over here. Then we go to our drone tenders, hit V to open autofit, click on the custom variant, G to confirm, and that is now stamped down on him, and we can do that for all of them really quickly to get them all outfitted the same way. Alright, and then we go into our fuel tanks, and I'm going to take out the auxiliary fuel tank, and I'm going to, we didn't get it. I didn't get the survey equipment. Next time I'll grab the survey equipment. The wolf, we're going to give him just capacitors and vents. He could use... What else could he use then? You know what? We'll go ahead and drop 2 of the capacitors to insulate his engine assembly as well. Why not? The gremlins, we're going to give them capacitors and vents. Give them all the vents and all the capacitors. This guy, yeah, all the vents, all the capacitors. Give him armored. Oh, you know what? Let's give them, take 3 of the capacitors away and give them armored weapon mounts as well. They didn't have any. No, they don't have any, suppose. And same thing with this guy, armored weapon mounts, max vents, and some capacitors. These guys, we did not get what we wanted, but that's fine. We'll put a... I didn't even get any. Oh, okay. That's fine. So we'll just put on their front guns. We'll figure out what they need on the actual playthrough. Oh, wow, I put the wrong gun on him. There we go, Railgun. And auto-assign him. I want those linked. And I want to increase the vents, flux distributor, and I want these to, the railguns fire automatically, and I want the heavy mortars to fire alternating, because that'll help me save on my fuel. Insulate his engine, give him an unstable injector so I can catch the enemy, and then, boom, capacitors for extra shield. He's good to go, and like I said, on the regular playthrough, we'll just have to remember to grab some guns for the shades we could potentially get, so that we have them for when we're ready. And now this fleet is more than just perfectly fine, well equipped, ready to go. If here, let's jump out into space, and we're gonna get ready to start now. If you go dark, you'll see our profile is only 128 because of the phase ships we have with us, and we should easily be able to get 2 shades and 3 gremlins, or 3 shades and 2 gremlins. May actually be the way I would want to do it, but it looks like the shades are going to be harder to equip. I think 2 shades will be more than enough. And the gremlins are pretty good at just being annoying. We have an officer for our Apogee. Oh, I forgot to put the mining laser, or the high intensity laser on, which we can get rid of her unstable injector to do. And leave the capacity, leave everything else the same. We should do that in the dock so we don't lose XP, lose points, but no big deal. Yeah, combat readiness, yeah, that's the one. Anyway, so now we can pop on here and we can see that we didn't get our gas. Anyway, if we had gotten our gas, we would have, be able to go explore and blah, 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 blah. So, let me go ahead and get the proper seed generated.